Hey guys, how are you? How have you been? I've been okay. Um, 2023, this year, things have been really moving on such a speed that one tends to wonder what's really going to happen in this year. First, when you look at the current situation in our country is quite discouraging. And I think this is where most of our discouragement or most of our problems are emanating from. In our last episode, we were talking about how one can preserve value in the money that they receive or in their salaries. And I spoke about a few options that are available to us. And in other options, we did speak about investing opportunities and things like that are currently available. I would say that we are going back into the hyperinflationary environment. There are quite a few reasons why I say so, but one of the major indicators that I've noticed is the depreciation in the current situation, or in the Zimbabwe dollar, has been remarkable. I would say remarkable as if it's something positive, but it is just something that when you watch from outside, you say, but how? Like I indicated in our previous discussion, that what the government has been doing is it has been stopping payments as a way of controlling the supply of the Zim dollar. Because once they pay more, then there will be much money in the market, which will result in the depreciation of the currency. So you see that in December and January, they did pay a lot of their suppliers, and that resulted in the depreciation in the currency. As you can see, for example, on the official market rate, in December, around the last time that we spoke, around 1 to December, the official exchange rate was around 670 Zimbabwe dollar to 1 USD. As we speak, it's beyond 900. And just a quick calculation that I made here, that's about 36 to 40% depreciation in that currency. And that is really bad, because this is just a matter of 3 months. So what is going to happen over a period of 12 months? Your guess is as good as mine. You go to the parallel market and you look at what has been the depreciation in the Zimbabwe dollar. During that time, December, it was 800 between 800 and 900. Now it's between 1,200 and 1,300, which is a remarkable 50% depreciation. And when you look at this, you really see that we are in a difficult situation. And this brings the question, so what is happening to the economy? My analysis of the economy is that this economy is now divided itself into two economies. What we now have is the government and formal business on one side, and then we have the informal businesses and the parallel market rate on the other side. So this is what is happening. The government does pay a lot of its suppliers in Zimbabwe dollar, but at the same time, on one hand, it does not really accept payments in that currency alone. So for example, if you are a retailer and you sell part of your goods in USD and part of your goods in Zim dollar, the government will say to you, what you sell in USD, we need the taxes in USD. What you sell in Zimbabwe dollar, we need the payments in Zimbabwe dollar. So what it means then is there is no demand for the Zimbabwe dollar on the formal side. Then you go to the other side, which is the informal economy, and per Zimstat, 65% of Zimbabwe economy is informal. So what it means is the informal economy, those are the people who are the small scale farmers, the small scale vendors, all those people around. And that is forming 65% of our economy. And almost that whole informal economy prices itself in USD. So from a consumer perspective, we are really in a tight situation, because if you continue to earn in Zimbabwe dollar, how are you then going to pay for services, for goods that are then being priced in USD? The secondary challenge that most of our most of the people, most consumers have faced is the fuel situation. You find that fuel is now being sold in predominantly USD. I know of one service station that sells in Zimbabwe dollar, but queues there are always too long. So what should an ordinary person do in this environment? Because clearly the environment is split into two. And if you are not earning in USD, if any portion of your salary is not in USD, then you are in for a big problem. Like we indicated in the previous discussion, in the currency that you earn, that's the currency that you must spend. The idea that you have to change currencies between the two, looking for a better rate, normally there are so many charges, like we calculated last time, that you are probably losing the advantage that you're looking for. However, you see that there are other things that are cheaper in ZWL, like paying your utility rates, or paying your ZESA bill. Sometimes you find it cheaper to just pay in your local currency. So, but the idea is, as a consumer, is always try to transact in the currency that you receive your money. That will help you. We are going. This is just my analysis from where things are. Things are definitely going to go a bit more difficult, where the government is faced with elections and they have to find that money somewhere. And that means that there are going to be more suppliers to the government. And the practice that we now have is people pricing their goods futuristically, or you are selling whatever you're selling to the government. You assume, or you estimate, when is the government likely to pay me? Maybe in 3 months' time. So if I give them my goods today at this amount, my goods are worth 1,000 USD. I know the government pays me in Zimbabwe dollar. What could be the rate in 3 months' time when they pay? So you find that this person will charge the government at a rate that they think will be the rate of the time when they pay, and that causes more pressure on the Zim dollar, because there's no demand for it. The rate is moving based on sentiments. There's nothing more that is moving this rate, especially the direction that it's going. It's because of the sentiments. People no longer want to hold that currency. Definitely the currency has lost its value as a store of value. The biggest culprit will be the government, because the government is sending mixed signals. I would say the government has to get its act together in terms of currency management. The government, Zimra for example, there has to be a coordinated approach. Zimra should never accept any payment in any other currency. They should accept our own local currency. All government departments, when you go to the passport office, they demand USD. So what that is doing is it's killing the confidence in the economy, because how can you as a person promote something that you yourself is not accepting? So the government has to go back to the drawing table and say all government services. A few days ago, the police were saying the charges are now 30 USD for this offense and things like that. The government should be the number one promoter of the Zimbabwe dollar. Then the country will take a cue from them. Besides, if that doesn't happen, if the government does not start promoting its own currency, then I can assure you that the avenue that the Zimbabwe dollar is taking is going to be painful. It's going to be painful for a lot of us, but we have to brace. Like I said, we have to know, if you receive your money in Zimbabwe dollar, try as much as possible to spend it in that currency. If you receive it in USD, be frugal with your money. I've seen, and this I can tell you, many informal traders, these smaller tuck shops, they actually sell a lot of their products at a very cheap price as compared to the formal business. I'm not advocating against these formal people, but I'm just saying, let's say you've got, you want to buy something you want to buy your groceries and you have USD. Shop around, go to the mini tuck shops down there. I know of some people, they actually go to the extent of going to Epworth or to Chitungwiza or to Warren Park. There are these small little shops that are selling in USD, but they are very, very, very cheap. So be frugal with your money, because things are going to get a bit more difficult this year, especially what more with the elections that are coming, because government is going to be forced to spend more on trying to finance the elections. That's it for today. We'll catch each other tomorrow. Let's keep the conversations going. We are going to talk more about the economy. We are going to try to dissect it more and understand what are the things that we can do. For example, one can invest in property, one can invest. There are a lot of things that we are going to talk about for us to try and circumvent what is coming. Have a good night. Thank you.